Hi, welcome to Share the Scare with Lady Shar. I'm Lady Shar, welcome to my channel. I'm starting this channel because I know there are a lot of people out there with scary stories, and I want to be a platform for you to share those stories. So I have an email, sharethescary@gmail.com, and if you have a scary story, you can write to me. Write your story out in an email, send it to me, and I can share your story on my channel. And I'll also be sharing some of my stories. And I'll tell you, the reason I'm interested in this is because when I was a baby, I looked at the newspaper article, I was 11 months old. I was 10 and a half months old. Something like that. Let's see. It happened on Sunday, October 3rd, 1971. I drowned in our bathtub. And I've been putting off doing this because I lost my mom in January. And last summer I recorded some of our conversations and I was asking her to tell me the story of when I drowned because I had only heard it from two of my sisters. I'd never heard it from my mom of exactly what happened. So, in order to tell my story, I'm going to play this video, or not video, audio recording of me and my mom talking about this. And it's a little hard for me to do because hearing my mom's voice and knowing she's gone, it's hard on me. But the main thing is there's all kinds of unexplained things happening in the world. And some people don't want to share their stories because they are afraid they'll get laughed at or whatever. And this channel is suspension of disbelief. Whether you're a believer or not, you can come to this channel, leave your disbelief at the door, and just listen to the stories for the scare factor. Or you may be a believer and believe in all this stuff. It doesn't matter on this channel whether you're a believer or a skeptic, because we're going to leave all the skepticism at the door. And we can discuss paranormal events, synchronicities, the afterlife, near-death experiences, black-eyed kids, shadow people, cryptids, UFOs, true crime, anything that's scary. It doesn't have to be paranormal to be scary. And I have several stories to share, and I have several people that have told me stories that are just incredible. So right now I'm going to play for you this this audio of me and my mom having a discussion. And let me turn up the volume a little bit.
Sitting in my lap, with looking at a magazine.
How old was I? How old was I?
Jeez. I can't remember.
Okay, I found the newspaper article, and like I said, it happened on October 3rd, 1971, and I would turn 1 in November, so I was under a year old. Let's continue.
Seems like I was under 2 years old.
Yeah, about a year and a half. He was walking, but, she wasn't very old at all. But you, Darla was on, here, and you wanted a bath. So Carla goes in and puts you in bath water. And then Darla's washing her hair, and she told Darla to watch you.
Okay, so I have 3 sisters, and they're all older than me from my mom's previous marriage before she married my dad. The oldest one is Darla, and she was the one washing her hair. If I was a year old, she was maybe 14. And my sister Carla, the one that ran the bath and put me in the bathtub, would have been 12 or 13. And then the youngest besides me was 9 years older than me, and that was Marla. And like I said, Darla had never told me what happened, but Carla and Marla had told me, and my mom had never discussed it with me before. And at this time, we didn't know she had lung cancer, but I knew that she wasn't doing well. And I just wanted to get some stuff recorded with her. The stuff I had questions about, that I had memories of, or I had been told about when I was a kid, and wanted to verify some facts. So let's continue.
But Darla said she didn't hear you. And first thing I know, Darla was screaming. And you're floating in the bathtub and you're flat.
Okay, now I think my mom's memory could be off on this, because Carla told me that she grabbed me out of the bathtub, and my mom's, it's just a small detail, it doesn't really matter. But so apparently my sister Carla ran me a bath and put me in the bathtub while my sister Darla was washing her hair in the sink. Carla told my sister to watch me, that she had to go do something, and came back, and I was floating in the bathtub, and I had turned black from lack of oxygen, is how Carla and Marla told me. But like I said, it's a small detail. My mom said she's the one that grabbed me out of the bath. My sister Carla said she's the one that did that. My cats are climbing around behind me. Okay.
So,
My whole body was black, not just my face.
no, all of you. Oh my God. We're going on Sunday.
I remember that. Because I remember Sergeant Bloss and Mr. Cox had both stayed home from church, and they were regular, staunch churchgoers.
Okay. I said I remember. What I meant was I remember Marla and Carla telling me about this. That I guess Marla, my cat is going crazy. A while ago she was in my daggum computer bag. I don't know where she's trying to get now. But anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, my sister Marla had went over and knocked on Mr. Cox's door, and I guess they were outside while my mom was getting the car keys and stuff, and had alerted the neighbors. And what's crazy, and we'll get to this on the audio, is it was a Sunday morning and all of our neighbors were church goers. the neighbors on both sides of us and the neighbor across the street, who was a sergeant in the Army, all stayed home from church that day. Let's go.
And anyway, I went to start the car and the kid was yelling and I was going to take him to the hospital. Mr. Cox came out first and he was thinking heart.
CPR.
Yeah. And then Mr. Block seen him and he come and helped relieve him a little bit. And then Paula next door, she came out.
Paula Berry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so where we lived, Mr. and Mrs. Cox lived on the west side of us, and the Berries lived on the east side of us, and Mr. and Mrs. Bloss lived across the street.
Okay, so I didn't know the Berry had come over too. I just knew Mr. Cox and Sergeant Block.
Well, she came out and I had the car started, but they was working on you, and she said, you can't take her in the car, you need an ambulance. She says, I'll call the ambulance.
Oh, so Paula called the ambulance. See, I thought that you called Aunt Jackie, and then you called 911.
I didn't call 911, I was taking you in the hospital in the car, because I couldn't think. I was going, oh my God. Here he was, not breathing, black. I mean, oh God. And your dad was home.
Now, there's going to be a little bit of, my mom and dad are divorced, and my mom is going to, she's not going to bash my dad, but there's a little resentment you can hear, that he wasn't home when this happened. He was out quail hunting with his brother. Gosh, this is so hard. I didn't know until I did this interview with my mom that Mrs. Berry next door had come over, or that she was the one that called 911. Our three neighbors saved my life. My mom was terrible with emergency situations, and the amount of times I almost died as a child is ridiculous. I had to have my stomach pumped like 3 times because I got into medication and ate it. One time, you know, the X-Lax that came in the chocolate bars? As a child, I ate a whole package of that because I thought it was a candy bar. Had to have my stomach pumped. I don't remember any of that. It's just, you know, been told about it because I was too young to remember. When me and my mom were talking during this interview, she told me that this wasn't the first time that I had almost died with not breathing too. But I may save that story for another day. Let's get back into this.
Of course he was. Anyway, the ambulance came. And halfway to the hospital, they got you to breathing.
Oh, see, the way I heard the story was they took over CPR when they got there, and that they didn't even put me in the ambulance. That they were doing CPR on me in the yard, and they pronounced me dead because they couldn't get me to breathe. And then after that happened, that I threw up a bunch of water and started crying. That's what Carla told me.
Yeah, so my sister Carla, who would have been, I think, 13 or 14 years old, somewhere in there. No, she wouldn't have been that old. Because Marla would have been 10. Carla would have been 12. Darla would have been 14. I think that's their ages. And my sister Carla had told me that Mr. Cox and Mr. Bloss stepped back and let the EMTs take over CPR, and that I threw up a bunch of water and started coughing after they had given up and said, she's dead, we can't revive her. But my mom said that's not what happened, that we were in the ambulance halfway to the hospital before I was able to breathe on my own.
Can't breathe. It's not halfway to the hospital. The ambulance people thought she's breathing.
Oh, okay.
So when I got to the hospital, I called Jack because Rex and Jerry were somewhere. I didn't know where, because he never told me the directions or where he was at. So Jackie called Max.
In my dad's defense, sorry, Mama, but he could have gave her directions 20 times and she would not have been able to find him. He was out in the desert hunting quail. My mom's very bad with directions. Okay. Just a little bit more of this.
And Max pretty well knew where to find him. And then Jerry kind of came straight to the hospital after Max went out to the field with the hunting. But, yeah, you didn't breathe till halfway to the hospital.
And they did CPR all that time. Mr. Cox, Mr. Bloss, and then the EMTs. Who grabbed me out of the bathtub?
I did. Because when Darla turned around singing, Carla ran in and I grabbed him. And I started running and I told him we needed to take the car to the hospital real quick. Well, the car was running still when Mr. Cox came out and started giving me CPR. I never even got in the car, ever.
Had my mom put me in the car and tried to drive me to the hospital, I would not be here today. The only reason I'm here is because of our neighbors. And for our neighbors to be home at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning is just, sorry, is just crazy. It's crazy. Okay.
So he just heard that Marla and Carla and Darla uproar, or
I think one of them went and knocked on his door and said we needed help. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if it's
I think that was my
because
sister Marla.
The way I heard the story was Mr. Cox said that for some reason he felt like he needed to stay home from church that day.
I never figured that.
That he had, he goes to church every Sunday, and he got up that morning and felt the need to be at home that day.
I never did hear that story.
Well, it might have been embellished from Carla or Marla, but that's the way I heard it.
It could be, because he was, the kids was out there. So, I was out of it. So, he might have told one of the kids without me even, hearing it. Because I was just about dead. He was a baby. And me and you was so close because your dad is always hunting or fishing or chicken fights. And everywhere I went, you know, he was right there with me. It's my little baby. It just only does.
Okay, so that's the story of how I'm alive, basically. And I've had strange things happen to me, around me, all my life. And I think that this experience of drowning before I was a year old, that I crossed over, I have no memory of it, but I think that that's the reason why I've seen stuff and had stuff happen around me that I can't explain my whole life. And I know there's other people out there that sees and hears things that they can't explain. And I know there's people out there with creepy stories that I would love to read and to share with my viewers. So if you'd like to become a part of the Scare Share Squad, or the Share Squad, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, please let me know what your story is. Send me an email, sharethescary@gmail.com. I'll leave that in the description box. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And I will be doing listener stories once a week. And we may do some scary videos from the internet, reactions on this channel. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you very much. Take care. Until next time. Peace. I'm out.